Hey, I know a lot of us were really glued to the TV watching the golf this past weekend. And if you were watching closely, I'm sure you noticed that there's so many different styles of swing. You've got some people that swing more upright, some flat, some from the inside, some from the outside. Some people have loops to their swing, some don't. Some look like they do some crazy pre-shot drills before they hit the shot. What's really important when we hit the ball for most of us is simply the impact zone from here to here. We can have our own personal style quite a bit outside that, from your takeaway to the position at the top of the swing. But really, everything starts getting pretty narrow when you need to hit a ball long and straight. If you can get this part right, you can be a really good golfer. So right after this, let's take a look at what I think is a absolutely fantastic drill for many of you out there watching. We'll get into it. We'll see how you can get a better impact strike. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. Again, thank you so much for helping me over the 100,000 subscriber level. As usual in this video, I hope you get enough value out of it to hit like and subscribe. All right, now this exercise takes 2 items. You should actually go purchase, but for some of you out there, this may be the best money you ever spent on golf. So here I've got, this is an Amazon.com Basics, called Amazon Basics microphone stand. And it comes like this, and you just lift it like that, and you set the base like this. Very simple. Set the height like that, tighten it up just a little bit so it stays. It is a little bit breezy today. Set that down right about here. And then here, my second item, I've got a smaller noodle, a narrower noodle. This one I got at the dollar store, so this was $1. This microphone stand was about $25. But of course, if you don't want to either make the investment, $25 plus $1, so $26 investment, or you just don't want to have to schlep extra equipment to the driving range with you, or you think it might look silly, then by all means keep watching. I'm going to show you another method to do the same exact exercise without needing this extraneous equipment. All right, so pretty much where I've got this thing positioned is right on top of my left hand at address, just like that. And I've got it pretty close, you see, as close as I can get without touching it. All you have to do in this exercise is simply miss it. So of course, start with a short club and a small swing. And a lot of you out there, you'll have a really hard time, even with the small swing, of missing this thing. So something like that. Something I've been working on quite a bit. Now, here's a warning for some of you out there watching where this exercise either won't work for you. These are the categories. So this drill isn't for everybody, but the people who swing steeply over the top and outside in, this won't be a challenge for you. You see, if I swing with that shape, very easy to cheat and miss this. So very difficult to swing inside out and shallow and miss this, of course. And that's more who this is for. So this drill isn't necessarily for the over-the-top outside inner. Of course, you could make it for you if you simply combined it and just stuck your driving range bucket down right there. And then makes it much harder. Oh, that feels good. That was what I would add for the over-the-top outside inner, is add something here like your range basket or a yoga foam block, something like that. And then you'll really give yourself the feel of a good swing. But for those of you this is most targeted to, is going to be a few different categories. Still very common. This is going to cover a ton of you out there, especially you better golfers who are struggling. You're maybe stuck at a plateau. The stander uppers, the early extender stander uppers, there's a lot of you out there. And that would look something like this. And of course, by occupying this space between the noodle and my thighs, by early extending, I don't have any space now to clear the noodle. You can see what might happen with you. This might be a beautiful solution. Simple solution. If you don't like the other ones, very breezy today. Hard to position this, but just by missing this, you can really feel that you've got to keep your butt back out of the way so that your hands have a path to miss inside and underneath the noodle. Secondly, what will happen when you early extend and stand up is, as you do this, you will have to turn your wrist down and make the shaft tall, like this. And so my hand is going to hit the noodle, just like that, because my hands are too tall. So the early extenders out there, anybody who stands up, you're going to have a field day with this exercise. It's really going to help you. You almost will feel how you have to stick that butt out so that you can keep the space clear right here. All right, the second category of golfers that this can help quite a bit is going to be the golfers who have plenty of inside out. In fact, you've got too much inside out. So your stock shot is a big draw. You tend to push it, and you tend to overhook it or duck hook it, pull hook it. Those are usually signs that your path is simply too far into out. And in this case, my club shaft is going to hit this noodle on the early follow through. I'm going to whack it like that. So that would tell you that the shaft is simply not traveling on a very efficient swing plane for hitting the ball straight all the time. And so again, if you can simply miss this guy, for my swing. Third category of golfers is golfers who want to work on their hand path, exiting around to the left, and the shaft not being so tall. So a lot of you out there, if you fall into the category of what you might call stuck or handle stuck, and that club is coming down and it always seems to be inside the hands like this, well, it's unlikely that you'll be able to miss the noodle if you were actually getting here. It'd be really difficult. So when you're missing the noodle here, your hands are coming back in. It's meaning that your hands are having to turn the corner here in order to miss. And this is going to give you this beautiful pivot point. Very unlikely that you could look like this. Look where I am. I'm now on a collision course. I'm not going to be able to pull that handle back in time to avoid the collision. I will going to have to start arcing it back sooner, and that's going to give that club head a kick to the outside around the handle like this. It's the only way that you're going to miss this. The other thing is, so many golfers are they're so tall with the shaft. Tall shafts, you can get away with a little bit of course, 3, 4, 5 degrees, but a lot of golfers who come to me for the first time, they're swinging possibly 15 degrees too vertically through the impact zone. And it really makes it difficult to hit the ball with any power or with a lot of accuracy. So I think the best swings you'll find, like if you were to look at Hogan, for example, and a lot of other really great ball strikers, you'd see that the shaft kind of comes right back pretty close. In Hogan and Trevino's case, it might have even been a bit lower than where it started, as they kind of tended to bow a little bit somewhere during the middle of their swing, and that made the hands come through kind of low. But certainly those were great ball strikers and candidates to where this exercise wouldn't even faze them at all. Now, why do I like this for me so much? Because even though I'm getting quite good at bringing it shallow from the inside here and exiting, matching around to the left, I've gotten really good at that this year. One of the things I've been working hard on. However, what I see in the video is that I'm still just a little bit, sometimes maybe an inch of club head trapped behind the handle like this. I'm not getting enough of this leverage yet. And so what would my miss be? A little bit of a push or a block, and occasionally a little bit of an overhook. It's getting a lot better. What this is helping me with, and this also might be your category, if you're a good golfer and you're seeing the same kind of thing, just a little bit stuck, what this is helping me do is get this handle turning the corner sooner, getting this to point into left field here instead of waiting too long. Even though I'm breaking around to the left enough, it might be a little bit too late. So again, we're working on impact, and way less shots for me where the face is being left open. So you want to give this a try. If you're in any of those categories, I think you'll find it very difficult at first. Most of my students have to go very slowly at first to miss this thing. They can't believe how difficult it is. Their hand either hits it, or their right hand hits it, or the club shaft hits it. So as soon as you can get that thing missing, get it right down on the glove, really tight, almost touching. And all you're doing is just trying to come back. There we go. Right back closer to how you started. So if you can get the club shaft a little bit closer to where you started at address, it's almost necessarily going to mean, it means the handle's in the same place. It means your body is likely to be in a closer position to where you started as well. You can see if I do this at all, well, the angles all have to change. If I do this at all, too much, you can see I'm not going to make it either. So this could be a really saving drill, a game-saving drill for many of you out there. And like I said, the people that don't quite fit into this category, you just add the range bucket, and it ends up making it a really great way to feel the correct swing plane. Remember, it's an arc. That means it has to come from the inside and then go back around to the inside. It's an inside to square, back to inside arc in a golf game. That is excellent. This is what you're seeing the guys on TV do. We need to find a closer match to that so that we can get that club moving on plane. Plane is a very intimidating sounding word, but this will help get your club through the impact zone on plane better without you even worrying about it or knowing about it. And hopefully you'll pick up more distance and accuracy after working on this for a little bit. Now, as promised, I showed you if you didn't want to buy equipment, I would show you the alternative solution here, and that's pretty easy. Position the golf bag, and you can either use an alignment stick or a driver head cover, but look how I can position this just by figuring out the correct pocket. And I can essentially duplicate this, you can see, just like that, and I can get this thing positioned in the same spot to where it's not going to let my hand path and my arms or my club shaft travel on the wrong arc. So very simple to do without having to purchase anything. All right, hey, I think this drill is a real winner for a lot of you. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave a comment down below if you tried it and what happened, or maybe leave your personal favorite drill down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for helping me get over 100,000 subscribers. I am eternally grateful to all of you who've been following me all these years. You know who you are out there. Head over to my website, hititlonger.com, for more great articles and videos. And if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.